Okay, so that's the thing with freestyle episodes. That's the thing with being a working mama. My recording got interrupted because my baby called. She wanted to see where I was at and if I was close. So if you listen to freestyle part one, I want you to keep listening to freestyle part two because I got something to say. That's the point of this podcast. That's why I started this podcast so that I can put out what I want to put out for those people who need the help and who need the guidance and the expertise. So getting back to this CPA exam, these just disappointing metrics with us being 1% of the active licensed CPA population 50 years ago. And here we are in 2019, almost 2020, and we are 3% of that population. So no progress at all has been made. And that's why when you go to my Instagram at Nick Winston CPA, you will see a lot of content about the CPA exam journey, my CPA exam journey, as well as what I've learned along the way with how to study, what to do on exam day, what it really takes to be successful on that exam, and just my overall experience, how I stay motivated, and how it has benefited me now that I can talk about this exam in past tense. Because listen, when I was going through it, oh my God, I didn't know when it was gonna be over. I knew it would be over soon because again, the power of the tongue. And why are these people going 100 miles an hour? Oh my God. Okay, anyway, um, so I knew it would be over soon because I spoke it into the universe. I just didn't know when, but I had to get to the point where I stopped being so frustrated and worried about getting to the end that I just had to come to the realization that, look, you are knee deep in this process of trying to become a CPA. There are a lot of things that are going on right now, in the present, in front of me, that I need to embrace, that I need to just start to appreciate this space that I'm in. Because I never thought that I would become a CPA exam instructor, tutor, motivator, coach, whatever everybody calls me. But it was because I stopped being so worried about rushing to the end, and I just had to embrace the fact that I was in a very uncomfortable space for 1,373 long days of studying, working, being a mama, running a business, running multiple businesses, real estate, trucking, accounting. So many things were going on. But I said, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing this. So I know that I'm talking about the CPA exam, but this applies in real life. If you are in a space where you feel like, okay, I really want to jump and take the leap and do this and jump and take the leap and buy a house or start my business or whatever your thing is that is holding you back, or whatever the thing is that you aspire to do, but you have these self-inflicted setbacks because you're not doing it because of because of the thoughts that are swirling around in your own head, right? That was where I was. Like, I just want to be done. I don't care about how I get there or what it takes to get there, but I had to care. And I felt like it was that shift in mindset that actually got me to the point where I was successful on the exams. Because when that light bulb went off in my head that, look, you can't keep worrying about the end goal. We ain't there yet. We are in the process. You got to trust the process. Like Jeezy say, you got to trust the process. And when I got to that point where I started to embrace that uncomfortableness and I really started putting forth the effort that it took to be successful, that's when I didn't fail another exam. When I told myself, okay, this review course is not giving me everything I need, or I've bought 2 or 3 different review courses and I still don't know how to do this or how to do that, how to do the direct versus indirect method for the statement of cash flows, or calculating AR reserves, or going through audit procedures and a compilation versus a review versus any other attestation work that you can be doing. When I got to the point where I said, I know, because I know me and I know how I operate, I know that I'm going to pass. So I just need to focus on the journey that I'm on right now. If I'm studying for reg, I need to be fully immersed in reg and learning this content, not worried about score release, not worried about exam day, but focused on learning this content, because there are stellar CPAs and there are good test takers, and I didn't want to just be a good test taker. So whatever your thing is, whatever your pain point is, whether you are a CPA candidate listening to this, or we just gonna call you a future CPA listening to this, whether you a business owner and you feel like my stuff is not selling, people are not engaging with my posts on social media, this, that, and the other. Like I said on the on the first half of this freestyle, I'm done with trying to figure out these social media algorithms, especially if all of the people on my posts are not buying what I'm selling. And I'm not out here trying to get people to buy. I'm out here so people can know that, look, okay, you got your online business, you have your boutique, you have your real estate business, you're selling your courses, whatever it is that you do. But I need you to understand, as a business owner who has $1 billion idea, but you don't have an accounting background, that your revenue, your profit, and your cash flow are 3 different numbers that all have 3 different purposes. I need you to understand, if you are selling outfits in your online boutique for $100, and if it costs you $117, I want you to stop. I want you to understand your margins. I want you to understand that you probably have the potential to raise the price of your product and increase your profit. I want you to understand that don't call the CPA on April 1st because you need to file your taxes on April 15th. You should have been talking to your CPA throughout the year, because the last thing you want to do is call somebody to do your taxes and then they have to catch up your bookkeeping, or they have to try to make sense of the transactions that you did throughout the year, because there's tax filing, which is an act that everybody has to do. And then there's tax planning, which as an individual, but more importantly as a business owner, you should be doing every single day, because every move you make in your business has a financial impact, which means it has a tax impact. So that's why I put out the content that I put out. And I saw this one post. I had put a post on LinkedIn, I think. And somebody called me for a project. So, and I want to say that post had maybe 100, 200 reactions, but I still was able to monetize the opportunity. Not because I was looking for it. I put it out because that's what I love. I love accounting. I love to talk about small business and educate entrepreneurs on how they can really understand the language of business, which is accounting. That's what I like to do. So I enjoy working with small business owners, because at the end of the day and at the beginning of the next, accounting is accounting. It don't matter what you live, what you look like, where you sell, where you live, what you sell. It's been a long day. Accounting is accounting. Everybody has to register their business. Everybody has to file taxes. Everybody needs to understand their margins. Everybody needs to understand the basic financial statements. And while you don't have to be able to analyze trends and your expenses and look at your revenue swings, you should at least be able to speak intelligently from a 30,000 foot level, from a high level, about the state of your business's finances. Now, digging into it, margins, and is this directionally correct, and is this because of seasonality, or is this because of something else? Do we need to accrue this expense? Why is revenue lower than we expected? Those are the questions for me as the CPA to answer. But if you're going to an investor, if you're going to a bank, there are just basic metrics about your business that you need to know. So again, doesn't matter where you live, what you sell, what you look like, how many likes you got on Instagram. IRS don't care about that. Investors don't care about that. They care about how much money do you have in the bank. So be you when you are out here on social media, on Instagram, flexing or whatever you're doing. Just make sure the real you comes across, because when it don't, it shows. And I had another post that I put out about something about the CPA exam, I think, or just some piece of content I put out. And somebody reached out to me about another opportunity. And so I was just like, this is exactly why I continue to do me and to be me. Because even though this post didn't get 10,000 likes or 10,000 comments, it got me $10,000 in the bank. And that's the only metric I care about. If you got 10,000 people liking your post and nobody's buying nothing from you, what's the point? And like I said before, I do my podcast. I love to talk about accounting. I love to educate small business owners. I love to share my career experiences, especially with professionals who look like me, because there's no guidebook for us. There's the employee handbook that you'll get from the job, but then there's that set of unwritten rules that apply to us, that a lot of them I didn't even know existed until it was some old baptism by fire, and I learned the hard way that they existed. Oh my God, this truck in this car. Okay. So yeah, I like to share those experiences on social media. On Fridays, it's called #CareerConvos. So people will email me or DM me their questions about different career moves they want to make, or just about things going on at the job that they're just not sure how to handle. And politics can complicate things depending on the type of employer that you work for, sometimes even depending on the area that you work in. There are a lot of factors that can impact how you move at your workplace. And so I share my experiences as an employee who's been there, but also as a leader of people with direct reports, as a hiring manager. And I have different reasons for bringing somebody in for an interview versus just throwing their resume in the trash, which is a perfect segue into talking about the career advice that I provide. So if you are on my blog, nickWinstonCPA.com, if you are on my social media, my Instagram, my Twitter, same thing, at Nick Winston CPA. If you follow me on LinkedIn under my government name, Nicole L. Winston, you will see most of my content focuses on CPA exam strategies, career advice and navigation for professional millennials, and small business tips. And with Career Convos, I was actually blown away when I got this notification probably about a year ago from LinkedIn, like, you're seen as a career expert in your field, and these people are looking for career advice. So I get these notifications every Friday where there's like a pool of people on LinkedIn who um, pose these questions. They'll like give a scenario to say who they are, what they do, where they work, and what they're trying to do. So people would say, I work a 9 to 5, but I want to start my business. Or I'm about to graduate with my undergraduate degree in accounting, and I'm trying to figure out if I should go to grad school or study for the CPA or go to work. Or I'm struggling with trying to build a relationship with my boss. How do I do that? Or how do I get promoted? How do I let my boss see the work that I'm doing? So I answer those types of questions. I respond to the people directly, and I take that same feedback and use it to help other people who might be struggling with the same thing. The last of my lemon ginger water. But that's why I do it, because I've been through it, and I always have people asking me, like, how did you pass the CPA exam? Or how did you get to be a leader so young? And how are you running 2 departments so young? And it's like, it doesn't matter how old I am. I'm so accustomed to being the only one or one of a few, where I'm either the only Black person in a meeting, or I'm the only woman in the meeting, or the only Black woman in the meeting, or I'm the youngest leader in the room, or the only person with a title like mine who was a millennial. So I've become accustomed to that. And so I've been privy to a lot of conversations, a lot of those closed door conversations that we hear people talk about. I have seen where people in certain positions of authority have tried to literally destroy other people's careers. I have also seen where, and been a part of conversations where, okay, what are y'all seeing on the team? Who's next to be promoted? What do y'all think about this person, that person? I've been a part of those conversations, but I also have had mentors and advocates and that quote unquote personal board of directors where people have been having the same type of conversations about me. And again, I don't want other Black professionals to have to learn some of these unwritten rules the hard way like I did. If I can share my experiences working in highly matrixed environments where the politics was so thick you can cut it with a knife, and I don't play the politics game at all. At all. I don't. And so I like to share those experiences. And I'm actually thinking about, I would love to do like an event, like a mixer or like a happy hour where we just sit down and we just have some backyard politics where we just talk about, you know how you gather with your friends and your family for them backyard barbecues and you just chop it up and talk about everything. Like, I would love to do an event like that where I'm just telling these, I don't want to say young, I'll just say non-seasoned professionals, because there's some people that's older than me who still don't understand some of these unwritten career rules. So it's not just the millennials, like people like to blame everything on us. It's not just us. There are some older people in the workplace who still have not figured out this corporate game. So I might do that. I might invite some people out and just have that conversation. But I'm almost home. I'm literally still on this drive. I said this podcast was not going to be the length of my drive, but I feel like Ice Cube. I got something to say, so I'm saying it. And that's the purpose of this podcast. So again, I appreciate y'all rocking with me and tuning in, because I talk about what I love, and I talk about what's important to me, what I love, what I care about, what's important to me. So that's why my podcast is called the WERKin Mommas podcast. The WERKin Mommas is actually a concierge service for busy working mamas. And I'm a working mama, and every day is different. And so one day I might be talking about the CPA exam. The next day I might be talking about the the joys and the perils of working motherhood. And then I might flip back and talk about the importance of registering your business in your state. And then I'll go back and talk about career combos, because there's not just one element to me or one facet to me. And that's what I really enjoy. I can listen to certain podcasts and know exactly what I'm going to get, because they drive in their one lane, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I swerve in and out of lanes, literally and figuratively. And so I feel like I would bore people to tears if I just talked about accounting all day, which I could do. I could do that, but not everybody wants to hear that. They want to hear the accounting that impacts them, the accounting that they need to know for their business. I can talk about being a mama, but not all of my audience members are mamas or daddies. So, I like to put out something for everybody. And I am making my way on to highway number 3, the third and final highway. But just wanted to share that with y'all. So the gist of this whole freestyle episode was that I was just feeling it in my spirit to say, look, stop creating these self-inflicting setbacks, and stop feeling like your idea is not good enough. Stop feeling like you are not good enough. Stop feeling like you need somebody to tell you what you already know. There's nothing wrong with having a good support system. In fact, I think it's essential. Whether you're a future CPA, a business owner, or whatever, a support system is essential. But it starts with you. And you have to believe in your idea or in your dream or in your goal, your aspiration, before you can get anybody else to buy into it. It's just like raising money. It's just like going to an investor and asking for money for your business. Don't come and ask me to put in 150 grand and you ain't even put in 1,000. So it's like, how serious are you? Don't come to me looking for all the answers. Look inside yourself first, because you know more than you think, and you're capable of more than you think. So I think I'm gonna end it right there on the freestyle episode. I have plenty more that I can say. I actually have show notes written for about 4 or 5 episodes that I need to record. But the other reason why I do these freestyle episodes is sometimes this is the only time I get to record that's like uninterrupted. And now we just saw that that's not even true, because my kids call me and everything stops for them. So um, stay tuned for some new episodes that I'm going to try to get recorded before the holidays really start jumping off. But again, if you are a CPA candidate, if you are a small business owner, if you are just working a 9 to 5 and you're trying to figure out how to get promoted, how to get ready for that next job interview, how to get promoted, the conversations you need to have with your boss to make sure your career is going to the next level, this podcast is for you. So if you are listening on Apple, if you're listening on SoundCloud, I would definitely appreciate if you would like these episodes. Give us a 5-star. Give me a 5-star, because these episodes are sponsored by moi. And if you like this content and you want to continue to hear it, Your ratings are what will help me continue to put this content out for you. So I appreciate your ratings. I appreciate you sharing. Feel free to email me. I switched my email from hello@nickwinston.com. It's now Nikki@NickWinstonCPA, because I want to, you know, all in the spirit of taking things to the next level. And you get started just to start, but then you start to refine things along the way. My email address, which might seem minor, but it was major to me that I changed my email. So it's Nikki, Nikki, at nickwinstoncpa.com. Send me your CPA exam questions, your career questions. You've got a question about your taxes, your small business, or whatever. Happy to answer them for you. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter most of the time at Nick Winston CPA. I also answer a bunch of questions on LinkedIn and put out blog posts there as well. So again, remember, do you for you, and just be authentic out here in these social media streets. I mean, I love I think I like those unedited, unfiltered posts a lot better, because we see way too much frothiness, on Instagram, where people are posting their wins and their successes, but nobody is talking about when they was losing, when they was on the struggle bus. And I love to see that, because that just makes the success that much sweeter when you have to go through that process. So I said I was going to be done. I'm done with the freestyle episode. Y'all hit me up. Y'all know where to find me. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. And shout out to me for continuing to do this damn podcast, because it was on my mind for over a year. And again, that self-inflicted setback, I didn't record it because I was in my own head. So I'm just glad that I make the time and that I have the gall to do this, because this is a labor of love for me. So I am proud of myself for being consistent, for continuing to do it. And I hope that you will find something that you are proud of, and that you will just hit the green light, hit the gas, and stop holding yourself back. So I'm done. I will talk to y'all later. Check out all the other episodes on SoundCloud and Apple, and I think on Spotify. But hit me up. Let me know what y'all think. If there's also a topic that you want me to talk about, let me know, because the first 10 episodes came about because I started asking entrepreneurs, CPA candidates, my friends, people in my network, people that work in corporate America. I started asking them, when they listen, if they were to listen to my podcast, what would they want to hear? And not only did they give me topics and things that they wanted to talk about, they were all cheering for me. Like, yes, if you could talk about how I can rebuild my credit, or how I can build my personal credit and my business credit at the same time, or if you could just do like business tips for entrepreneurs, I would love to listen to that. And I would totally support you and share your podcast. And, they gave me the ideas, but they were supporting me. So that's why I love this, because it's something I wanted to do. And once I put it out in the universe, people loved it. So this is not work for me. This is fun. This was actually a great way for me to pass almost this hour drive that I just made. So again, for the last time, I am done with the freestyle episode. I will talk to y'all soon. Thank you for listening. Love y'all. Have a good night. Talk soon. Y'all be good.